Imagine this. You give your heart, your time, your trust to someone you thought was on your side. And then one day, you find out they've been laughing behind your back, using you like a pawn in their little game. What I'm about to tell you happened to me 3 years ago. And the way I handled it? Well, let's just say karma sometimes needs a little help from human creativity. This is the story of how I turned the tables on someone who thought they were untouchable. But before we dive in, let me warn you, this story gets intense. So buckle up. Let me paint you the picture. 3 years ago, I was working at this marketing firm. Decent job, good team, or so I thought. There was this guy, let's call him Marcus, who was basically the golden boy of the office. Charming, smooth talker, always knew exactly what to say. Marcus and I started off as work friends. You know how it is, grabbing lunch together, bouncing ideas off each other, staying late to help each other with projects. I genuinely thought we had each other's backs. Over about 8 months, I shared everything with this guy. My ideas for campaigns, my personal struggles, even my insecurities about work. I helped him prepare for presentations, covered for him when he made mistakes, and even recommended him for a promotion. Looking back, there were red flags. Little things. How he'd always steer conversations back to work stuff. How he'd ask really specific questions about my projects. How he never seemed to share much about himself. But I ignored them because, well, I trusted him. The bomb dropped on a Tuesday. I'll never forget it. I was walking past the conference room when I heard voices. Marcus and our boss, Jennifer. The door was slightly open, and I was about to knock when I heard my name. Yeah, I've been keeping tabs on Sarah's projects, Marcus was saying. She's been sharing all her strategies with me. Honestly, she makes it so easy. She tells me everything. My blood went cold. I pressed closer to the door. The Morrison account idea she's been working on, Marcus continued. I've got all her research, her pitch notes, everything. I can present it next week as my own work. She'll never see it coming. And then they both laughed. Jennifer actually said, "You're brilliant, Marcus." She has no idea she's been training her own replacement. I don't remember walking back to my desk. I don't remember the rest of that day. All I remember is this hollow feeling in my chest and one clear thought. This wasn't just betrayal. This was war. Now, I could have confronted him. I could have gone to HR. I could have caused a scene. But you know what? Those approaches are predictable. And Marcus clearly thought I was predictable too. So I decided to get creative. See, Marcus had made one crucial mistake. He assumed I was naive. He had no idea I'd figured him out, which meant I had the ultimate advantage. He still trusted me. Over the next 2 weeks, I became the perfect double agent. I continued acting normal, friendly, unsuspecting, but everything I shared with Marcus, it was carefully crafted fiction. I created an entire fake project strategy for the Morrison account, spent hours making it look legitimate, detailed research, charts, timelines, the works. But here's the thing. Every single recommendation in that strategy was designed to fail spectacularly. I researched Morrison's competitors, their market position, their customer base. Then I created a strategy that would do the exact opposite of what they needed. I suggested targeting the wrong demographics, using messaging that would offend their core customers, and proposing budget allocations that made no financial sense. But I didn't just hand it to him. That would be suspicious. Instead, I made him work for it. I'd leave documents on my desk when I went to lunch. I'd have confidential phone calls just loud enough for him to overhear. I even staged a few fake stress sessions where I accidentally revealed key details. Marcus took the bait completely. I'd watch him from the corner of my eye, scribbling notes when he thought I wasn't looking, photographing documents on my desk with his phone. He was so proud of himself, so convinced he was this master manipulator. The day of the big presentation arrived. Morrison Industries, a potential million-dollar client, was coming in to hear our pitch. Marcus had volunteered to present his strategy, and management was thrilled with his initiative. I sat in that conference room watching Marcus set up his presentation with my stolen research, wearing his confident smile. He had no idea what was about to happen. Marcus started strong. He was charismatic, well-dressed, hitting all his usual notes. For the first 5 minutes, everything seemed normal. The Morrison team was nodding, taking notes. But then he got to the strategy details. I watched as the Morrison CEO's expression slowly changed from interested to confused to concerned. One of their VPs started whispering to her colleague, looking at the demographic charts with obvious bewilderment. By the time Marcus got to the budget allocation, where he suggested spending 60% of their marketing budget on newspaper ads targeting 18 to 25-year-olds for their luxury retirement community services, the room was dead silent. The Morrison CEO finally spoke up. "I'm sorry, but are you suggesting we advertise retirement homes to college students through newspaper ads? Did you actually research our company at all?" I'll never forget the look on Marcus's face. Pure panic. He started stammering, trying to backtrack, claiming there might be some miscommunication in the data. But it was too late. The damage was done. The Morrison team walked out, just got up and left. $1 million deal, gone. Our boss Jennifer was mortified. Marcus was in complete meltdown mode, and I sat there trying my hardest not to smile. Within an hour, Marcus was in Jennifer's office. I could hear the conversation through the walls. She was livid. "How could you present something so completely unprofessional? This is the most embarrassing moment in my career." Marcus tried to throw me under the bus, claiming he'd gotten the research from me, that it was my fault. But here's the beautiful part. I had the real Morrison strategy saved on my computer, properly researched and actually good. When Jennifer asked to see it, I showed her my genuine work. The contrast was stunning. My real strategy was thorough, professional, and actually addressed Morrison's needs. Marcus couldn't explain how he'd ended up with completely different information. His story fell apart completely. Marcus was fired that same day, but the story doesn't end there. Word got around the industry pretty quickly. Apparently, presenting a retirement home marketing plan to target teenagers became somewhat of a legendary story in our field. Marcus struggled to find another marketing job for over a year. Now, I want to be clear about something. I don't normally advocate for revenge. Usually the best approach is to take the high road, move on, focus on your own success. But sometimes when someone deliberately tries to destroy your career and betray your trust, sometimes they need to learn that actions have consequences. Marcus didn't just steal my work. He tried to steal my future. The experience taught me 2 crucial things. First, trust your instincts. Those red flags I ignored, they were real. And second, sometimes the best revenge isn't getting angry, it's getting creative. As for me, I ended up getting promoted to Marcus's old position 6 months later. Turns out when you combine genuine talent with hard-earned wisdom about reading people, you become pretty unstoppable. Have you ever dealt with betrayal like this? How did you handle it? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And who knows, maybe your story deserves its own video. If you enjoyed this story of justice served, smash that like button and subscribe for more real-life drama that'll make your own problems seem manageable. And remember, sometimes the best revenge is just being smarter than the person who underestimated you. Until next time, trust wisely, act strategically, and never let anyone use your kindness against you.